Hello and welcome to TelecomTV. We are at the OpenStack Summit 2016 here in Barcelona in Spain. I'm talking with an old friend, well not so old, but a friend anyway, Heather Kirksey, who is the director of OPNFV. Hello Ms. Kirksey, how are you?
I'm doing well, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. So your recent platform release, OPNFV Colorado, the third river in the sequence, how's it going?
So we released Colorado in late September, and it was a release where we sort of made incremental improvements sort of across a number of features that are relevant for supporting applications moving forward. So sort of just general sort of maturity. We came out to the dot on the date that we had selected. Improvements around really sort of basic NFV features like IPv6, service function chaining, layer 2, layer 3 VPN. Sort of continuing on some of that that work that we've been doing before, and integrating with the additional upstream sort of fault management as well. We incorporated a new upstream community, FDIO. Definitely it was one of those incremental releases that makes you feel as though you're sort of sort of like maturing as a project, like there wasn't a lot of drama around it, but there was just a lot of solid getting capabilities that the operators and application vendors need more solidified into the platform.
Well, the Colorado and the Grand Canyon is dug deep in the earth. I guess you're going the same way.
Exactly.
Okay. Can we talk about the venue? We're here at the OpenStack event in Barcelona. What do you make of it? You were involved in a demo yesterday, I know, because I heard you if I didn't see you. So what was it about? It
was a demo that was highlighting some of the collaboration and work that OPNFV and OpenStack have done together, specifically around fault detection and fault recovery, which is obviously for operators who are operating the public phone infrastructure, and emergency infrastructure, really important to them. And so a couple years ago, we started a project called Doctor, and they did some analysis about sort of fault management within OpenStack, and realized that they needed faster fault management, and so they basically came to OpenStack with a large number of patches and blueprints across multiple projects, and basically with Newton, the current OpenStack release, they've sort of now achieved all of what they started out with in terms of all the different changes that they wanted and all the OpenStack projects to enable fault management, and that's what they demoed on stage. So NEC brought their VEPC and sort of set it up with Docomo, and they actually set up a private mobile network here. And Ildiko, who works for the OpenStack Foundation, I was in the lobby, she was on stage, and she gave me a call. And then Mark Collier from the OpenStack Foundation came in and pulled the cables, and the call dropped. And then Ryota from NEC, who had pulled the demo together, and it's the PTL of the Doctor project, one of a big contributor in our community, he sort of explained what had happened, and then they sort of upgraded to Newton to sort of all the Doctor features and Doctor capabilities. And Ildiko called me again, and then sort of to put a point on it, Mark Collier came in with a giant scissors and cut all the cables coming out of the EPC. Not all the cables, but sort of cutting multiple cables coming out of the EPC, and our phone call stayed up because the fault detection was sub-second, and they were able to fail over so quickly it didn't interrupt the 5G call that was going on.
Good demo. I like the giant scissors.
Yes, the giant scissors they were awesome. Yes. But it was a great way to demonstrate some of the capabilities that the operators need for NFV to run their networks on an NFV platform that we worked with OpenStack to get in place.
Well, what's happening now with the emphasis switching away from the enterprise? I know it's still very much on virtual CPE, but moving towards what's called carrier grade NFV and so on. The ability to be able to provide that sort of level of recovery and service in a telco environment is all important. Without it, it won't work.
Right. So this is my fourth OpenStack summit. My first one was in Vancouver, and I think when I first showed up, there was sort of a, what is this NFV thing? And now it's really understood, and I think both communities have really stepped up to understand each other, understand how to work well with each other, how to productively bring blueprints or patches and code, how to understand new use cases, and it's been really exciting to see sort of what was a fairly enterprise IT sort of world and the carrier new to open source world 2 years ago really coming together and getting to know each other and making really impactful things happen for the larger industry.
You said that it's your fourth OpenStack, but also OPNFV itself is 2 years old.
We are.
In that period, the evolution, since inception, the progress has been made has been phenomenal, really. Where do you see it going as you head up to 3?
I see a number of things. I mean, I really think that the continuing on the features into the NFVI layer is going to be really important. Increasingly, Mano is becoming important. We've had a couple of Mano projects start recently, 2 of which are focused on the some upstream Mano communities, Open Baton and OpenO, some other sort of more general Mano related projects in a Mano working group. I think that's definitely some place that we're looking. VNF onboarding is certainly a pain point, and I would say VNF interop is something that we're really interested in. We've got a Plug Fest coming up in December, and we're encouraging VNF vendors and VNFI vendors to bring their solutions so that we can test different VNFs on different VNFIs and validate that there is some portability and some compatibility and some interop there. And then the other thing I think is going to become really important is in this multiple communities working together. I'm really interested in seeing us continue to take that to the next level and really start to look at how we can begin to integrate and federate our infrastructure and our continuous integration, continuous delivery methodologies and tooling and tools so that we can really start to enable the developers in all of these communities to have a much tighter integration with each other so that all these different open source pieces become more tightly integrated and we're really able to sort of march forward together to move the needle for the larger industry.
OPNFV is known for its unique approach to working both upstream and midstream by integrating components from other open source projects. Can you talk to us about that? Particularly in relation to OpenStack itself and NFV in the telco space and NFV solutions in general.
Yeah, so I think the demo that we were just talking about earlier, is a great example of the OPNFV community working upstream with OpenStack to get those features in, and then in the context of our releases, writing test cases specifically to test that fault management functionality to validate that it really works, and then making it available to sort of the wider community. There are a number of things that we're doing like that with them, with SDN controller communities, with groups like FDIO, to really sort of going with requirements, testing them in an integrated platform, sort of finding out what works, what doesn't, what's unexpected, giving them that feedback, driving features, fixing bugs, and so all of the software that all of us are making communally, that shared investment and that shared R&D is of the highest value to the entire ecosystem.
Well, onwards and upwards. Always good to see you.
Thank you. It's always great to see you too.
Heather Kirksey, thanks a lot.
Thank you.